All right, guys, we're back down here on day 2 on the slope reshaped retaining wall building pad. Pretty yard job. So let me spin you around here and show you what's on the agenda. All right, first things first, I'm excited. I got me some help. Master dozer operator Jerry is back in business. He got his yard cut yesterday, so we're good to roll. But first thing we're gonna do is get topsoil back on this slope. I talked to the homeowner. We have the topsoil we stripped from this pad. That's gonna be a building pad, so it don't need topsoil on it. So first thing first, I'm gonna load up that topsoil and haul it over here and get it on this slope, so we can get it all. I just want to make sure we get that slope good. The next thing we got to do is this beach area down here. He's got an angle. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it comes over and then it's really ugly and then it kind of flattens out. He wants to notch that off so he can put a retaining wall right there. So that's going to be a little bit tricky to dig, but not nothing too major. And then the final thing for the day is we got to get this pad on grade, roughly a 30 by 40 with mowable slopes all the way around it. So I'll get the laser set up and find out what's going on there. But I gotta get my butt in the truck and get to hauling some topsoil, or Jerry's gonna have my tail. So that's what we got going today. Let's get her done. My mother told me to keep whatever rocks I could find for his retaining wall. I found 2. I don't know if they're worth keeping or not, but I found 2. So, all right, topsoil. Not really 100% sure where I need to have the truck parked at, but I guess we'll find out here in a minute. I don't know if you guys can see it back here. That sun is absolutely blinding this morning. I already checked the oil in this thing this morning. Hopefully she'll fire off and like us this morning. Come on, old trusty. Oh yeah. I doubt you guys can see much of anything. That sun blinding right in our face, but I'm gonna get one little bit of topsoil we got loaded up here, and we'll get it over to Jerry so he can put it on the slope. This ain't the best stuff, but it's the best we got. That's gonna be really fun going through the pyrite later. That is one ugly load of topsoil. It almost looks more like a load of hay, but it's all we got. So that's what we're gonna use. That's why I'm glad I got Jerry. He's the man. If anybody can polish a turd and make it look good, it is him. Back up too far and get over that lip, we'll get back out of here. stuff in there. I guess it's stuck in my tailgate. That's the closest thing I got. Now what? I'm gonna try to jerk it one time. If that don't work, I guess I'll go get the Traco. I'll go get Traco. Jerry told me I need to hurry up and get Traco and save myself the embarrassment before somebody sees it. Well, it's too late. I done hit the record button. But you know, I was thinking to myself, it may not be a good idea to put that last load on top of there. It's gonna get stuck in the tailgate. Should have listened to self. Would have saved me some walking and some embarrassment. But it's part of it. You know what happens and you just gotta deal with it. So, all right, let's walk over and fix our problem. But I sure managed to get that stuff jammed in there. That's the thing. There we go. I think the rest of us is gonna dump out there fine. The problem I got now is I pulled myself back off that ledge. It's about a foot drop. I don't know if the truck's gonna pull out of here. I guess let's find out. All right, guys, we got that fiasco done. That's a good way to start off a Friday. But anyways, Jerry says that's probably enough dirt. I think that's nice for I don't like your crap and I'll make what I got work. So anyways, while he's oh, hello, singing in there. Well, he's busting out that pile. We're gonna go dig this little retaining wall out. So let's go do that and hope it goes better. All All right, guys, I'm kind of getting myself situated on this retaining wall dig here. This is one of those situations, whenever I picture having a traco with a push blade on it, this is one of those situations I got in mind to where I can come in here, shove that blade down the ground, and level myself up on a hillside like this, because right now I got to do it kind of the old school way and take my spoil dirt and level myself up. I don't know if you guys remember that retaining wall job I did for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. It was kind of the same scenario where I had to fight keeping myself leveled up the whole time. If I had a blade, I could use it as a chalk and a leveling device. Kind of like what I do on the mini excavator, I guess. I'm trying to keep as much of this dirt out of this sand as I can. Whoop, come on now, there we go. Looking good. But anyways, I don't know, you know, the blade is, the thought process for me behind the blade is as much to do with pushing as it is just using it as either a counterweight, a brake, or a leveling device. I may have that theory of operation because I'm wrong. You guys are more than welcome to comment and tell me how much of an idiot I am. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like in situations like this, it would be handy. I know you guys can't see Jerry over there, but he is not happy with me right now over that nasty little topsoil. I told him, I'm sorry, it's all I had. He does agree that that low topsoil was at least better than nothing, so we got that going for us. Anyways, I'm gonna keep digging on this thing here. I'll show you what she looks like when I get her done. All right, guys, I'll be honest with you. I was just gonna wing it, as I don't really know what type of retaining wall he's got going in here. So I was just gonna eyeball grade across there and call it good, but I had second guesses on that, so I ended up setting up the laser. And believe it or not, I am pretty close. I am about I'm standing by the laser. About 1.5 inches, 2 inches high from here on out, which is about what I thought I was going to be. So I'm gonna scrape that down. Then I got my got a little fancy laser thing for the traco. I think it's going to work good for this. Let me get that on grade, and then I'll show you guys that. All right, I'll be honest with you, I've had this thing for years, and it's kind of the cheap version of these, but it's basically, I call it a visual magnetic laser indicator. But if you go down, it's got sound on it too, you can turn on. That's high, that's grade, and that's low. But basically, you just come over here. I always put it to where my bucket's flat, my stick's straight up and down. That's great right there. I'll pull my thumb down so you can see it from the cab. It works good in situations like this where it's got to be within about 1 inch. If nothing else, it gives you a good reference we can go back and fine tune later. If you're doing something real precise, it ain't the best thing, but it does come in handy from time to time. I will not lie. See, I'm sitting here in the cab. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can see it flashing green right there. So I don't know how well you guys can see that indicator from the cab, but basically I'll just come through in one sweep motion. As I get close, right there it shows I'm low. Right there's where I need to be. So if I had to guess, I'm probably about 3/4 to 1 inch low right there. But you can kind of do it without stopping, I guess. Once you kind of figure out your motions with the boom, if that makes sense. So since we're just a tick low, we'll take a little bit of this, put it back in there, get a little plate compactor. Here, I'll stick you guys out there where you can see the lights. equipment, but it's definitely a good reference. It kind of gets you in the ballpark so you know where you're at. It comes in handy on certain things. We used to use it a lot digging basements, especially if you would just get it close within an inch or two. Especially if you can get the dozer or the skid steer or something down the hole afterwards, because you use it to fine tune any little humps or bumps or anything like that. So I don't know. I think I bought this thing probably 6 or 7 years ago out in Vegas at the Well of Concrete. I maybe paid $400 or $500 for it, and it was definitely worth the money. We just about got this wrapped up here. Let's get this last setting done, and then we'll start it on this pad. All right, guys, there it is. I got it all excavated out for the retaining wall there. It's not perfectly straight, but he didn't want it to be. He kind of wanted to follow that contour. I just kind of took the track out and tracked it in. But yeah, it's on great. It turned out pretty close. I did double check it with the actual grade rod, and it's all within about a ½ inch. He's gonna put stone down in here to put his block on. So that's a homeowner project. So that's us. We're done with it. Jerry's getting the last of the dirt. We excavated out of here, pushed up into that pad. He's gonna rough that pad in, get it eyeball close, which for Jerry, eyeball close is pretty doggone close. I'm gonna hop on the tractor and the power rake and get this bank here ran in that Jerry's got topsoil on now, get it finished off. And then we'll go over there and give Jerry a hand with the bank. So we are trucking right along this morning. Hop on the old tractor and get this girl going. I'll see one thing I need to do before I get on there. Probably would be smart to raise, oh, that's the wrong way. Hold on. There we go. I'll keep from tearing something up we gotta fix later. All right, guys, there she is, all power raked in. Man, it turned out nice. He's gonna be really tickled with that. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you may know that I sold my 110, my little John Deere tractor. It's a long story. Still don't know if it was a good decision or not. But anyways, this is actually the farm's tractor that I borrow or trade from time to time. I absolutely hate this tractor. There is very little, I'm a John Deere guy too. There's very little about this thing I like. 40, 66R, my fault. I don't know. It's just not a very friendly tractor to use. It's got plenty of power, but it's just not user friendly. So anyways, I'm gonna go help Jerry get ready on this pad. All right guys, this is the last thing we gotta do here, is we gotta get a 30 by 40 pad in here. And Jerry's just kind of roughly trying to get established. There's not a set elevation. It's basically we just gotta go low enough to get our size. So I'm trying to kind of check grade here and get Jerry. Jerry's somewhat on the straight and narrow. I think he's a little bit high out here yet. I'll tell you what, that old man never ceases to amaze me. He's damn near dead on. So anyways, yeah, we'll get this busted off. I'll show you what it looks like, but we're getting close. It don't look like much, but it's gonna be. From this corner back here to that corner up there, you're dead on. Okay. So I'm gonna double check your measurement across this way and make sure you're out far enough. I think you are. We'll just kind of wind roll that over.
And start making a little bit of shape to it.
Yeah.
Then we get it pretty close, then we can still concentrate on that ditch a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get our drainage up there. So. All right.
Hey, when I get that closer, no, now start bringing that, I guess start bringing that topsoil around.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab the fancy measuring wheel here, make sure we got our distance we need. This measuring wheel is kind of like the laser attachment for the skid steer. It's not the most accurate thing in the world, but by golly, she works. 30 feet. I got we're spot on. Super fancy mark. Right there where he's at, it's the cut fill line. It's always hard to get a clean transition there. See how he don't push that all the way off and break over that edge? That way he can get his flat established and come back around and contour that in. All right, guys, we're closing in on her. We pretty much got her on grade. I'm double checking the size. We're good on size. Oops, sorry. What we basically got to do now is he's kind of got this all towed in, pretty much got the pad on grade. We're going to go up here and cut a little bit of a diversion ditch in. There's not much water that comes off that hill. We're pretty much on top of the hill. We just want to divert everything we can. So if they do build a building here one day, we don't want water going through it. That would not be good. Oh yeah, we're plenty good on size that way. Double check her one more time this way. If you walk crooked, you can get more distance in a short period of time. Oh yeah, you're good. So yeah, so we had to dig in about 4 feet back here to get enough dirt to do what we need to. So basically Jerry's just gonna cut a little diversion in down there. work that water around. It's so dry and hard right now. Them ants are too happy with old Jerry. He evicted them from their little house. They're pretty doggone close. All right, guys, here it is. We are all wrapped up. We got a 30 by 40 pad, perfectly on grade with a small ditch up and around. Got this slope with some decent topsoil on it, so it's mowable, should grow something. We got this all excavated out for his future retaining wall. Keep in mind the homeowner's doing all the seeding and strawing and retaining wall. We're just doing the excavating work. That turned out nice, and then the big improvement is getting this bank laid back. And we ended up dead nuts on 12% grade, which should be extremely manageable from here on out. So that's pretty much it. That's a wrap on this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll catch you on the next one.